Good morning, class 12. Welcome to yet another session of Political Science. In continuation to our discussion in context of the chapter Planning and Development, today we are going to understand a few more things about the idea of planning and its history. So, how did this entire concept emerge or evolve? That foundation lies during the years of 1929's Great Depression. Even before that, if we look into the socialist model or the USSR model, so USSR was the first country which initiated its planning in the year 1928. That means 1 year prior to the Great Depression. The Great Depression took place in the year 1929. So when this country adopted this means of planning or centralized planning where everything was owned by the government and the government was making necessary steps for the continuation of planning in a proper manner, then USSR was able to set up a role model, an example for other countries to look into when they suffered during the Great Economic Depression of 1929. Not only the European countries but the world, including the Great America. Now, the foundations of this lies in our constitution also. Now, where for that we have to look into the directive principles of state policy. These are certain guidelines or directives given to the Indian Constitution or the by the Indian Constitution to the state or the national governments, and these directives mean that the state should work or initiate policies for the betterment or the well-being of its citizens so that they may develop politically as well as economically also. Now, there is emphasis if we look into on basically 3 points when we talk about development or greater good or common good, which is elaborated further in 3 points. First and foremost, men and women have a right to earn or to get an opportunity to create or to lead a means of livelihood. That means everybody, either from the richer section, either from the poor section, either from a literate family, either from an illiterate family, whatsoever the grounds are, that person is entitled to make a living. So the state should look into the opportunities or should provide those opportunities to such people. Another point is in which there is a system where there is no concentration of wealth and material resources. That means all the resources or all the privileges should not be limited only to the richer section of the society, or the caste system also here plays a great deal of work. But the natural resources or the material resources should be distributed in such a manner that it should serve the purpose of causing a common good, or it leads to the common good of the citizens of the country. Another thing that is importantly stated under the directive principles of state policy is that such an environment should be created for the workers where their health should be kept in mind, whether it is a man, whether it is a woman, whether it is a child. The rules and regulations and the salaries should be given on such basis that there are no disparities and there are no what to say health issues or health hazards involved in these practices. For example, if you look into the cases of the mining workers, then on an average, according to the facts, they suggest that the average age of a mining worker is only 35 years if the conditions are not conducive health wise. So this is again one of the negativities where the state should check in the system or the factories or the areas where such practices are ongoing and provide for the betterment of the workers. So these are certain directives by the directive principles of state policy. Now let us talk about another aspect, that was the National Planning Committee, which was set up in the year 1938. Okay, the year was 1938. And which political party was involved? The Indian National Congress was involved here. And who was the chairperson here? This committee was chaired by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Now, what were the recommendations? This entire committee recommended that emphasis should be laid on the basic industries, the mineral resources of our countries, and also that the railways and the waterways which are available, that all should be falling under the government. That means socialist system was to be incorporated. In my previous class I told you that the government of India planned to take up a mixed economy which would be having elements of the capitalistic model and the socialistic model. That means private sector would be involved and the public sector would be evenly involved. Moreover, this committee planned on the abolition of the zamindari system, which was one of the social evils prevailing in our country. So this much for today. Rest we'll be discussing in our next class. Thank you so much.